2 days, day 15 and day 16. And by the way, I hope you're enjoying these beautiful shots from Guatemala. This is very appropriate because what you're going to learn in this video is something that's very prominent in the country of Guatemala. Now, it's not limited to Guatemala. There are other countries where you will hear this quite often, but also take into consideration that this is not spoken in every Latin American country or every Spanish-speaking country. There are countries you could go to where you could, bring this up or use it, and someone can just tell you, we don't even use that in this country, okay? Which means that you can actually skip these sections unless you are wanting to just learn this. You can learn it if you want to, or you might have plans to visit one of these countries or spend a lot of time in one of these countries, or even where you're at. Maybe you're in a country like the United States and it just so happens that you're in an area where there are a lot of people from one of these countries and you want to be able to speak the way that they do, and you want to tackle these lessons here with me. That's perfectly fine. So it's your decision. You can either cut out and just skip days 15 and 16, or stick around on this video, okay? So what we have here is the word vos and the verb conjugations that go along with it. I believe I broke down the word vos in a little explanation, or rather the words vos, tú, and usted, the 3 different ways to say you to a singular person in Spanish. So I'm not going to talk about that here. If I didn't, let me know and I'd be happy to make a video about that, but I'm pretty sure that I did. Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's focus on the verbs though. This lesson is really more than anything about the verbs. So if you plan on using vos, let's go. The example says you speak well. Now you already know some other ways to say that using tú and usted, but we're going with vos. So what is it? Vos hablas bien. Notice written it just says hablas bien. That same thing we see over and over again in Spanish. The pronoun can be taken out, so we don't have it written there, but you can say it either way in all reality. But the big thing that you want to notice with the pattern here is that the last syllable is emphasized, or the last vowel rather, okay? So here it's not hablas, it's hablas. Do you remember with tú, is tú hablas? But notice here, there's more emphasis on that last A, so it comes out sounding different. You don't want to get these interchanged. Now, if you mess it up, it's fine. They'll understand you. But if you want to speak good, you want to put the emphasis where this accent mark is on the A. So you want to say hablas. Now, I hear people that have been spending a lot of time in the Spanish communities learning Spanish, and they still get these mixed up a little bit. Their ear isn't really catching on to the accent, that power in which syllable, okay? So notice the difference. I'm going to say them back to back. Tú hablas, vos hablas. Hablas, hablas. You got it? Now let's go on looking at the ones on the chart here, the table, the 3 most common regular verbs. So we have hablas, comes, vivís. You see that? It has that emphasis there on that last vowel. Let's keep going. Next page, we have vocab. Learn the vocabulary. Use your memory aids if you have to. Now, you have an option here. You can keep going with me on this day. If you feel like you are not feeling overwhelmed, you can come along with me into day 16. If you think that you need to rest your brain, by all means, I encourage that. Even is right there at the bottom of the page. Stop and immerse your brain. So that's your decision. If you want to stop, go listen to some Spanish music or do this or that, okay? Go try to practice your Spanish with someone. Completely fine. So if you're still here, I guess you're hanging out with me here on day 16. So let's get into day 16. Same thing here, okay? We know what's going on. This is our 15 key irregular verbs. We're still in the present, which obviously the last one was present too. I don't think I mentioned that, but you can see what's going on here, okay? These are the present patterns for vos. I'll just start saying a few of them just so you can kind of start to get the ear for the accent, okay? The emphasis that goes on the end of that word. vos estás, vos sos, vos haces, vos podés, vos pensás. Are you hearing it? Now there is a little bit of crossover. You'll notice the first one that on the irregular verbs list, vos estás, that crosses over with tú. You'll notice that tú and vos, in terms of the patterns, they share a lot of the same patterns. Sometimes, especially with the conjugations that you'll learn in the future, upcoming lessons, depending on when the person is talking and stuff like that. Tú and vos have a lot of crossover on the patterns. But this one, the one for these days, 15 and 16, there are quite a few differences. So just be mindful of that. You'll know. You'll see. You'll go, wait, isn't tú very similar? Yeah, there is some crossover. Let me think if there's something else. That's about it for that page. Let's just quickly touch on the next one. We have the ing words. The main word you take away here is estás. Again, that's the one that you share with tú. Let's see, going on to the next thing, next page, vocab. Nothing comes to my mind too interesting to say here. Learn these vocabulary words. Use memory aids if you have to. And I would say for sure, if you've made it to this point with me, definitely stop right now and immerse your brain. Don't go on to day 16. That's my encouragement. I can't tell you what to do, but that's what I would do if I were you. Stop, immerse your brain, go listen to some good salsa music or your Spanish music of preference, and I will see you in the next one.